Hey everybody, Charlie Craig here. Totally wish I could be with you as you prepare for your game coming up. I want to talk about this in our pregame chapel. The topic is remember your why. Remember your why. We're going to come from Revelation chapter 2, verses 2 through 5. This is Jesus speaking to a church, and he's saying this. I know what you have done, and I know how hard you've worked. I know how long you can wait and not give up. I know that you cannot put up with sinful man. I know that you have put men to the test who call themselves missionaries. I know that you have found that they are not missionaries but are false. Verse 3 says, you have waited long and have not given up. You have suffered because of me. You have kept going on and have not become tired. And then verse 4, Jesus says this, powerful words, sharp statement, and he says this, but I have this one thing against you. You're doing all these things right, and you're holding it down in all these areas, but there's one thing that I have against you. And Jesus says, you do not love me as you first did. Jesus speaking to the church, and he says, you're doing all this stuff right, but there's one thing I hold against you, and it's a big thing. It says, you don't love me the way that you used to. And then verse 5 goes on to say, remember how you once loved me. Be sorry for your sin and love me again as you first did. If you do not, I will come to you and take your light out of its place. I will do this unless you are sorry for your sin and turn from it. Like, powerful statement right here. Like, this church is in motion, this church is moving forward, this church is getting it right with a lot of things. But Jesus says there's this one thing I hold against you, and it's the fact that your passion has burnt out. It's the fact that your love for me has shifted, it's changed, and it's not what it used to be. So in the first part of this talk, I want to come from the topic of how is it that we forget? How is it that we lose our first love? How is it that we lose our passion and become burnt out? I think there's three different things that we do. Number one, it's distractions. Like, we let distractions get in the way. We focus on the wrong things and we forget the right things. We begin to focus and put our eyes on the wrong things, and we forget and take for granted the right things that we should be paying attention to. If you are easily distracted, or if the wrong things have your attention, then it's easy for you to abandon your first love. Let me put it this way. It's easy for you to abandon your why. It's easy for you to abandon your passion when your eyes are fixed on the wrong things. Here's the truth of the matter. Distraction is an enemy of purpose and passion. Distractions are an enemy to purpose and passion. How's that? Distractions steal your energy, distractions steal your resources, and they steal your focus. Your distractions, it might be your failures, it might be your temptations, it might be negative circumstances, it might be that you're in a situation that doesn't quite seem fair, it might be something glamorous that you're going after that you really shouldn't be paying attention to. Your distractions show up in all kinds of ways that shift your focus from what it should be on. And here's my encouragement to us. Our challenge is to feed what nurtures you. Feed what nurtures you, not feed what feeds you, because you can be fed the wrong things. That's what distractions are. It's feeding off of the wrong things. So feed what actually nurtures you. What's pushing you forward? What's pushing you towards your why? What's pushing you towards your God-given person? What's pushing you towards the reason that you do what you do in the first place? That's feeding what nurtures you. Put your energy towards those things. Put your resources towards those things. Put your focus towards those things. If you feed your distractions, then your distractions will starve you. It's the truth of the matter. If you feed your distractions will starve you. But if you feed your purpose, then your purpose will nourish you. Feed your distractions, they'll take away from you. When you feed your purpose, then your purpose is going to give to you the things that you need. Purpose ignites a fire. Purpose ignites a fire while distractions extinguishes the flame. Your purpose is what's going to fire you up. Your purpose is what's going to get you going. But distractions will extinguish the flame and the fire within you, and then you experience burnout. Oftentimes people say the squeaky wheel gets the oil, when the reality of it is sometimes the squeaky wheel needs to get the boot. All right, sometimes we need to get rid of distractions, not feed into those distractions. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 and 27 says like this: look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Verse 27 says, do not get sidetracked. Do not get distracted. Keep your feet from following evil. Like, stay on the right path. Feed what nourishes you. Another thing that makes us forget is having the wrong voices in our ear. Wrong voices and negativity will always distract us if we lean into that. A great way to forget your why is to be around people who don't remind you of it. A great way to forget your why is to be around people who don't remind you of your why. The wrong voices pull us towards distractions and away from purpose. Are the people that you're listening to calling you up, or are they keeping you down? People in your life, are their voices bringing you up? Are they calling you up, or are they bringing you down? The wrong people talk about problems while offering no solutions. They talk a lot but invest very little. They are fueled by negativity while ignoring positivity. They love a distracted you and they hate a focused you. Truth of the matter is that you will be the sum average of the people that you spend the most time with. So who are you allowing to speak into your life? What changes do you need to make? Proverbs 13:20 says it like this: walk with the wise and you will become wise. Associate with fools and you'll get in trouble. It's just a fact of life. It's a truth that we have to live according to. Negative circumstances in and of themselves try to distract us from our purpose. When things get bad, it's easy to question the vision. When things get bad, it's easy to question ourselves. It's easy to question God. And it's easy to question our why or to forget about it. As we face trials, we go in with the mindset that our circumstances don't define our vision. Our circumstances don't define our way. They don't define me, and they don't define who God is. Circumstances can reveal a lot of things, but they define nothing. Let's say that one more time. Our circumstances can reveal a lot of things, but they don't define anything. Psalm 62 verse 2 says this: God alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I will never be shaken. Like, He alone is my foundation. He alone is what I'm standing on so that my life isn't shaken and destroyed by distractions and negativity. God doesn't change. Circumstances can be used to reveal God, but they don't change God and they don't define who God is. Like, our circumstances can be used to reveal God to us, but they don't define who God is. Our circumstances can reveal what we're made of, but they don't define who we are. God's our rock. What does that mean? He's our stable place. He's our salvation. What does that mean? He's our protection. Always, He's stable. That's who He is. So if God's good, then I'm good. If God's good, then I'm good. If God's confident and He's sure, then in Him I'm confident and I'm sure as well. The other thing that distracts us and makes us forget about our why is an attitude of ungratefulness. Ungratefulness can cause us to focus on what we don't have while abusing what we do have. We abuse and neglect the things that we are not grateful for. Ungratefulness causes us to see our blessings as a curse until we lose them. Ungratefulness will cause us to have a perspective that, man, I'm just looking at everything that I don't have while I'm neglecting the things and the people that I do have. Ungratefulness will cause us to have the perspective of, man, the blessings in my life are actually a curse. Until the moment that we lose them, then we realize, man, I had what I needed all along. It's impossible to remember your why if you don't cherish your blessings and if you're too busy chasing after distractions you think you need. Like, it's impossible to remember your why when you're not grateful for the things that you do have, and when you're so busy chasing after the things that you think that you need. When you're chasing after stuff and chasing after distractions, then you will forget your why. You will forget your why. Ungratefulness will cause you to see distractions as necessities, while what you need is already in your hand. Man, Romans chapter 1, verse 21 says this: yes, they knew God, but they wouldn't worship him as God or even give him thanks. And they began to think up foolish ideas of what God was like. And as a result, their minds became dark and confused. Like, that's what distractions do to us. They warp our perspective and they get our eyes off of what they should be on, and we have a bad perception of who God is and the things that he's given us, and we chase after stuff that we think we need because we're so distracted, but in all actuality, we don't need it. When we're grateful for something, we cherish it. When we're grateful for something, we take care of it. When we're grateful for something, then we remember it. All right, do you remember your why? Do you remember what your passion? Do you remember what's kept you in the game? Do you remember what's kept you along the spiritual journey that you're on? Remember your why and be grateful for it. So the question is, how do we remember? And I got a few ideas for this last part of the talk. And number one, we have to discipline our minds. People who are on a mission don't let their minds wander, but they are focused and locked into the purpose and the why that God has given them. All right, I want to go through these pretty quick here. I gave a talk a while ago that said that you become what you behold. And that's how we remember our why. We discipline our minds. You become what you behold. If I focus on distractions, then I become distracted. If I focus on negativity, then I become negative. If I focus on God, then I become godly. If I focus on my purpose, then I become purposeful. I become full of purpose. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5 says, take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. My thoughts don't have to control me, but I can control my thoughts. And the question that I have to challenge myself and I challenge you is, what are you telling yourself? Like, what are you speaking? How's your self-talk? You become what you behold. What are you focusing your mind on? We have to discipline our minds in order to stay on track and stay on purpose. I can be focused on the things God has for me and make the decision to cut away distractions. I'm going to feed the things that nurture me. I'm going to invest in the things that invest in me. Philippians 3 verse 13 and 14 says, I focus. All right, maybe say that to yourself. Say, I focus. I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I focus and press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize which God through Christ Jesus is calling us to. Like, I focus on this one thing is what Paul is saying right there in that passage. Forgetting what's behind me, but I'm focused on where God has me going. What's the next step in front of me? How am I tracking? How am I staying on course? Am I investing in the things that are investing in me, or am I too busy chasing after distractions? The next thing is to have the right voices in our ear. To have the right voices and to have positivity speaking into our lives. The voice of God. God's word is God's voice. My prayer time is an opportunity for me to hear from God. If I want to know and pursue my purpose in life, then I need to consider the one who created my life. Because the one who created me is the one who defines me. I need to have godly voices in my ear as well. Leaning into my relationship with God and leaning into my relationship with godly people. Where are your friends taking you? And where are you taking your friends? Are they taking you closer to God or further from God? Are your friends people of actual faith Meaning that, do they remind you of your why? Do they push you towards your why? Do they celebrate your why? Do they help you through failures? Do they encourage you? Do they invest in you? What are your friends telling you? Are they moving you closer to God or further away from God? Are they helping to keep you on track with your purpose that God's given you? Or are they pulling you off track and sidetracking you towards distractions? You won't live out your purpose alone. It's the truth. You will not live out your purpose alone. As much as we may hate to admit it, we need other people. We need God and we need God's people. Your success depends on healthy relationships, and your relationships depend on a healthy you. Your success depends on healthy relationships that you have in your life. And your healthy relationships in your life depend on a healthy version of you. If you want the right voices in your ear, then you have to be a right voice, right? If you want people speaking positivity around you, then you have to watch your language and not speak negativity to the people around you, all right? You will always find what you're looking for. You're always going to find what you're looking for. If you look for the negative, then you'll find it. If you're looking for the positive, then you'll find it. If you're looking for the good, if you look for God, the Bible says that you will find him. Look for the right things. What are the lessons that I can learn from this situation? What are the skills that I can gain from this circumstance? What's the strength that I'm gaining in this situation? Am I being tenacious about this, or am I being timid about this? Am I being humble, or am I being prideful in this situation? I have to look for the right things and what I can gain from what I'm going through, whether it's a good situation or a bad situation. There's something that I can gain from it. James 1 verses 2 and 3 says, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity of great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. When you're going through a tough situation, it's an opportunity for growth. You can either go through it or you can grow through it. And the last thing right here is we have to practice gratitude. We have to practice being grateful. When was the last time you made a list of the things that you were grateful to God for? When was the last time that you just sat down and just thought about the things that you're grateful to God for in your life? My gratitude is not defined by my circumstances. I can choose to be a grateful person no matter what it is that I'm going through. Every breath I take is an opportunity for me to do what God has called me to do, and I'm grateful. The fact that God saved me and has given me a reason for living is enough for me to be grateful for. My gratitude is what fuels my why because it gives me the right perspective. My gratitude fuels my why because it helps me to have the right perspective. Gratitude reminds me that I can use what I have to do what God has called me to do. Gratitude reminds me that when I walk through the deepest valley of the shadow of death, that God is with me and I can be thankful for his presence. Gratitude reminds me that I might not be where I want to be, but I'm further along than I used to be. Gratitude reminds me that this is the day that God's made and I can rejoice in it because it's an opportunity for me to live out my purpose and to be the man, to be the woman, to be the person that God's called me to be. Grateful people are secure people. Grateful people are secure and they're competent in what they're called to be. I don't want to be anyone else. I don't want what anyone else has. I want what God has created for me. I want to be the man that God's called me to be. Psalms 50 verse 23, and I'll close with this. It says, give thanks to give thanks. Giving thanks is a sacrifice that truly honors God. Gratitude towards God is a sacrifice a lot of times that honors God, that helps us to worship God and to focus on who he is and what he's done in my life. Things may not be going my way, but God, I can still thank you. Things may not look the way that I want them to look, but I can still thank God. You feel better when you're grateful. You act better when you're grateful. You play better when you're grateful. You're pleasant to be around when you're grateful. All these things work out for your good when you're grateful to God. And God blesses you when you have an attitude of gratitude. God can't get anything to you with your hands like this, folded, guarded. But God can get something to you when your hands are like this, a position of gratitude, a position that's saying, God, I'm ready to receive what you have for me next. And it keeps us focused and keeps us locked in to our why and keeps us from burning out. So that's my prayer for you, is that you would be grateful for what God's given you, that you would focus on the right things, that you would have the right people speaking into your life, that you would be moving forward on the journey that God has set for you, and not chase after things that don't belong to you, but chase after the things that God has for you and continue to pursue him with all your heart. The Bible says when you seek God with all your heart, you will find him. And remember your why. You become what you behold, so lock in with God and become godly.